Hi.
So the main problem that we all as humans have in fulfilling our calling or even pursuing our calling is that we get caught in cycles that we hate, that we feel trapped in, and we misunderstand God's heart for us.
And so often we replace the true process with trying to set goals and grinding through things. But clearly that doesn't work because is it happening?
Yeah. So we're really excited to share with you 3 steps that will help you launch into your God-given calling. And the first step is strengthening your connection with God as you are today. The second step is letting go of limitations and cycles so that you can reconnect with yourself, with who you are and what you want. And the third step is finally creating an action plan so that your dreams can become a reality.
We're so excited to share these steps because they've radically changed our lives as well. So I quit my 9 to 5 job, start a business. I get way more time with my family, which is amazing. We moved to the beach. I conquered an addiction to porn. I also traveled the world as a missionary. I've been on every continent except for 2.
Yeah, and I got to overcome an eating disorder, anxiety, postpartum anxiety, and I got to marry the man of my dreams, and we get to do life together every day, and I get to be with him actually through the day, and we get to advance God's kingdom together. So our first pillar is strengthening our connection with God so that we can live from a place of abundance. This is so important because so often we live life in this place of oh man, I'm afraid God would want me to do something I don't want to do, or he's not for this thing in my heart. But the reality is he is for that thing in your heart because he's the one that put it there. And he is for you. He created you and he's not against you. He has plans and a purpose and a future for you. So this is the step where you actually get to come in alignment with God's heart for you and discover that God's dreams are your dreams, and you get to move forward from that place. You because you've created safety with the Lord, because you've created this relationship of trust, you can actually begin to live from a place of abundance.
Yeah, he really is for you, and he definitely made you specifically the way you are for a really good reason. And in this step, you'll actually grow closer to God and realize that you're perfectly made, you're unique, you're original, and what you have is what the world needs. And when you become confident with your relationship with God, you can move forward in a way that you've never moved forward before, because suddenly you're not questioning
is this God's
is this
will?
God's will? See, there's this big elusive God's will, and I think we blow it way out of proportion. And actually, God is so much more for us, and it's less of an elusive thing, and it's a lot more when the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And I believe it's a lot more like moving forward with God's, while trusting God as he opens doors. And it's a lot more of a freedom than is this God's will kind of thing.
A hindrance,
So you'll become free in your relationship with God and knowing what he is speaking to you as you go.
And you start to become free to dream, which is ultimately what you want, right?
It takes away that fear from the relationship, because good relationships are in love and fear doesn't exist.
Yeah. So the second step is letting go of limitations and cycles that hinder us, that keep us from our God-given calling, so that we can actually reconnect with ourselves and know what we want. I think as Christians, it's so easy to, when we feel stuck in a sin cycle, an addiction or whatever, we try to pray it away, we try to fast it away, we try to renew our mind with truth. We go to people for advice and they don't have they just say the same things that you've been doing and you're not seeing results. Well, that's because healing doesn't begin in the mind. healing begins in the heart. And this is the most important thing, that your heart has needs. God created your heart with needs, and your needs need to be met. So whenever you're not meeting your heart with those needs and the way that it needs, I just said need a lot. When you're not meeting your heart that way, then you start to feel neglected. Whether you know it or not, you feel abandoned, you feel rejected, you feel all of these things. That's because you've been ignoring yourself. You've been ignoring your own needs, and your own desires, and coming back into alignment with your actual needs, with your actual desires in your heart will open up your heart to discover, well, one, that you have so much worth in what you have to offer. You have so much worth in what's in your heart. You'll begin to value yourself like you've never been, like you've never done before. You'll begin to just have self-confidence and have self-worth like you've never had before, because you know who you are, and your heart's not hungry for love. You're actually loving your heart in the places that it needs. Our third pillar is actually creating your action plan now.
Finally, the part that you wanted to hear about.
Yeah, and the most exciting part, because your dreams get to become reality.
Right.
Yay. Yeah, here in this step, you actually get to begin clarifying what it is that God put in your heart. You get to begin clarifying what it is that you want, what you want to move on, and practical steps to get you there. And you're also getting, because you've gone through all this healing, you can actually begin to sustain this lifestyle of actually pursuing your dreams, and not only sustain it, but sustain it through hardship, sustain it through success, sustain it through the trials of life, which is huge, because that's the hardest part. And you'll learn new ways to help you navigate life, so that you can walk forward with confidence, and fulfill the things that God has put in your heart, because he put them there for you to do, to accomplish,
to enjoy.
You have things in you that the world needs, and no one else can give the world these things except for you. So yeah, we're excited to see what God has for you, to see what God's put in your heart, to see you come alive to your true purpose.
Just imagine the difference between the grind and then coming into the flow of grace, because better connection with God and better connection with self causes a crazy flow and a fast forward of your dreams and calling. So just imagine the difference between trying to push a truck up a hill and going downhill with ease. So this is the difference that this process will bring you through.
Yeah, and we're excited to see you accomplish your dreams.
Oh man, yeah, that's what we're passionate about.
So to recap, the 3 steps that'll launch you into your God-given calling are: first, connecting with God so you can live from a place of abundance. Second is letting go of limitations so that you can reconnect with yourself. And third is creating an action plan so that your dreams can become a reality.
So if any of that really resonated with you and you're feeling like a pull and drawn to what you heard, we'd like you to book a 15-minute call. It's free, completely free.
And we'd love to just hear where you're at and where you want to go, and we'll give you specific things that you can do right now to begin pursuing your God-given calling. If you're interested, at the end of the call, we can book a second call, and we can see if we'd be a good fit to work with each other, if you'd be a good fit for our program. And there are 3 qualifications in booking a call, and the first is that you're a Christian, and if you're not a Christian, that you've got to be open to God because he's the center of everything we do. The second is that you are hungry to change, and the final is that you're ready for action. So if these sound like you, click the link below, book a call with us. We can't wait to hear from you.